Enduring the best of times in the midst of the worst of times. In the novel A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens comes the famous quote, "It was the best of times and the worst of times." The two cities referred to were London and Paris during the turmoil of the French Revolution. It is said it was the age of wisdom, yet the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, yet the epoch of incredulity. That means unable or unwilling to believe something. It was a season of light, yet a season of darkness. It was a spring of hope, but the winter of despair. We had everything before us, while yet having nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven, while we were all going directly the opposite way. It means it was a time of contradictions. Although, to the many oppressed citizens of 18th century France, the Revolution's proclamation of the rights of man was a spring of hope. But to the ancient regime, that is, the outgoing political system, it was a winter of despair, permeating death and destruction. However, as we know, there are no contradictions in the Word of God. But life brings about contradictions in the world we live in. As the Apostle Paul stated in 1 Corinthians 16, verse 9, "For a great door and effectual is open unto me, and there are many adversaries," meaning these were the best of times in the midst of the worst of times. Paul writes at this time, many people of Ephesus were prepared to receive the gospel because God had given him great success. Many were saved, and there was great potential to win many more. However, great success in the work of God commonly creates many enemies. There were many adversaries in this region, so Paul determined to stay there a while. His adversaries were determined to ruin him and prevent the effects of his ministry in Ephesus, as well as disgrace his character and doctrine. But the opposition of his adversaries only animated his zeal for the work of Christ. Struggle and difficulty can sometimes bring out the best in us. Just like a woman going through the labor pains of birthing, it can be the best of times and yet the worst of times, but both are essential. So even as we go through this unprecedented time of COVID-19 pandemic, social unrest, and many other calamities, and our faith is tried to the quick, we must always know God has a remedy. Although it may seem like the best of times and the worst of times, that is, the spread of the gospel is increasing globally, but more people are dying globally as well because of this pandemic, but God is yet sovereign. If we can just hold on to that one essential word called endure, which means to hold up under pain, fatigue, etc. It means to stand, bear, undergo, tolerate, to continue in existence, last, remain, don't give up. We will absolutely not only be safe, but saved. Matthew 24, verse 13, Jesus assures us, "But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved." So let's endure this season of the worst of times, knowing that the best days are ahead of us. Get calm.